This is Pulse of Africa, the face of Ethiopia, the voice of Africa.
Hello viewers, you're watching Pulse of Africa. I'm Jalini Tesfaye for the main news. First, our top stories for today. Ethiopia and Algeria share united vision for Africa, said former Algeria's ambassador. Africa regional blocs appoint mediators over crisis in DR Congo. UN Security Council adopts resolutions urging swift end to Ukraine-Russia conflict. Progress in the implementation of the AFCFTA is proceeding effectively. Now the news in detail. Ethiopia and Algeria share a common vision for Africa, committed to peace, stability and development, says AU Deputy Chairperson Selma Malika Haddadi. According to former Algeria's ambassador to Ethiopia and now the Deputy Chairperson of the African Union, Selma Malika Haddadi said Algeria-Ethiopia partnership reflects Africa's commitment to overcoming challenges and securing a prosperous, peaceful future for generations to come. Our reporter has more on this.
In an exclusive interview with POA, Selma Malika Haddadi highlighted the enduring partnership between Ethiopia and Algeria. This partnership, which dates back to the early 1960s, was founded on their shared role in the establishment of the Organization of African Unity, now the African Union. Haddadi emphasized that this vision has stood the test of time and continues to shape their cooperation within the African Union. Both countries remain committed to a peaceful, stable and prosperous Africa where every nation had the opportunity to thrive, she added.
The common objective of Algeria and Ethiopia of having a continent that is in peace, that is stable, that offers the enabling and conducive environment for the economic prosperity and development for the current and future generations.
According to Haddadi, Ethiopia and Algeria were dedicated to AU strategic goals with strengthened ties over the years, particularly in light of global and regional challenges. She stated that Algeria and Ethiopia have the potential to unite Africa's voice on the global stage by collaborating with other fraternal African nations.
Both countries, as active members of the African Union, can play a role individually, together, but also by strengthening the voice of the African Union, by ensuring together and with other countries that Africa speaks with one voice.
Moving on to DRC. 3 former Africa leaders have been appointed as facilitators of the latest regional mediation mechanism brokered by 2 regional blocs over the security crisis in the Eastern Democratic Republic of the Congo, according to a statement released late Monday. The East African Community and the Southern African Development Community SADC jointly announced that they have designated former Kenyan President Uhuru Kenyatta, former Nigerian President Olusegun Obasanjo, and former Ethiopian Prime Minister Hailemariam Desalegn as the facilitators of their joint peace process in the DRC. On February 8, the EAC and the SADC held a joint summit, proposed merging the Nairobi process, an EAC-initiated mechanism led by Kenyatta, with the Luanda process, a parallel peace mechanism initiated by the African Union and brokered by Angolan President João Lourenço. Now to neighboring countries. Ethiopia's close neighbors, Kenya and South Sudan, urged for the promotion of Pan-Africanism. The 2 countries emphasized the need to reinforce Pan-Africanism as the continent is confronted with numerous challenges that urgently require collective action. For more details, our correspondent reports.
The executive director of Kenya's ruling party, the United Democratic Alliance, Nicodemus Bor, eloquently articulated the profound fraternal bond that exists between Kenya and Ethiopia. He recommended that all African countries and their peoples should collaborate for the continent's unity and prosperity. He stressed that Africa will flourish more when its peoples are united.
If we all come together and become one African continent, then we will be able to have a good place in the world to sell our ideas, to sell our products and expand our markets and bring wealth to Africa.
Secretary General of South Sudan's ruling party, Peter Lambos, highlighted the deep historical and brotherly ties between South Sudan and Ethiopia. He emphasized that Africans need strong media that can speak its truth for the rest of the world. He shared his impression that Ethiopian news agency's effort to be the true voice of Africa under its new platform called POA Pulse of Africa deserves appreciation.
Most of the stories that are being told by foreign media do not really address the positive image of Africa. They always concentrate on what is not working, but nobody talks about what is really working in Africa. I believe that the Ethiopian News Agency will be able to showcase African continent in terms of our achievements, in terms of our development, in terms of our unity and the way forward. So I think that this is going to really promote us and push us forward as a continent.
In other news, the Global Black Center Executive Board Chairman Professor David Francis and Prime Minister of Barbados Mia Motley have emphasized the profound significance of the Battle of Adwa. Adwa victory is a symbol of African unity, freedom, and global resistance against colonialism, according to them. Our reporter has a detail.
Professor David Francis and Prime Minister of Barbados Mia Motley explained that the victory of Adwa is a powerful symbol of resistance to all external forces and inspired both the people of Africa and the children of the African diaspora. Professor David Francis stated that the historic victory at Adwa on March 1, 1896 against Italian colonial forces was not just a victory for Ethiopia. He emphasized that Adwa represents a victory for the entire continent of Africa. Adwa is a symbol of African freedom, a powerful symbol of resistance to colonialism and external aggression against Africa.
Adwa is not just about Ethiopia. It's a symbol of African unity, symbol of African freedom. But importantly, it's a symbol of black pride, heritage, freedom, and resistance globally.
Prime Minister Mia Motley stated that the battles of Adwa within just 24 hours shook the confidence of European powers and inspired both the people of Africa and the children of the African diaspora. She emphasized that the victory proved that good can prevail over evil and light over darkness, but only through unity.
I stand here conscious that it was that battle that forged the beginnings of Pan-Africanism that eventually led to the movement for independence and the destruction of the colonial powers to give us not full development and power, but the first steps of political independence.
Shifting to UN. The UN Security Council adopted a resolution Monday calling for a swift end to the ongoing conflict between Russia and Ukraine and a lasting peace. The US drafted resolution received 10 votes in favor and 5 abstentions, including Greece, France, Slovenia, Denmark, and the UK. Expressing sorrow over the loss of life in the 3-year-long war, the resolution reaffirmed the US primary mission of maintaining international peace and security. It emphasized the need for a peaceful resolution to the conflict in line with the principles outlined in the UN Charter. On China. China aims to eliminate severe air pollution this year. China aims to effectively eliminate severe air pollution by the end of 2025, a senior environment official said, as authorities ramp up efforts in pollution control and emissions reduction in the battle for blue skies. China will improve its air quality forecasting and early warning systems and enhance coordinated management of harmful airborne particles known as PM2.5, as well as ozone pollution, said Li Tianwei, director of the Department of Atmospheric Environment. The battle for blue skies remains unchanged, Li said, according to a transcript on the Ministry of Ecology and Environment's website on Monday. Though some progress has been made, air pollution remains a major problem in China and affects economies and people's quality of life, said the World Health Organization, WHO. Air pollution is responsible for about 2 million deaths in China annually, the WHO said.
The story of resurgent Ethiopia and burgeoning Africa is here, only on the Pulse of Africa channel, all the time. Pulse of Africa, the face of Ethiopia, the voice of Africa.
Now turning to business news. Hello viewers, I am Samia Mohammed with the business news. First, AFCFTA. Progress in the implementation of Africa Continental Free Trade Area is proceeding effectively, according to AFCFTA Secretary General Wamekele Mene. The African Continental Free Trade Area, a key component of Africa's flagship development initiative, Agenda 2063, is a trade agreement designed to boost commerce among African nations and enhance Africa's standing in global trade. Our reporter has additional insight on this topic.
Secretary General Wamekele Mene stated that progress has been made in the implementation of African Continental Free Trade Area since the establishment of the Secretariat in Addis Ababa in 2020. According to him, 48 countries have already deposited their instruments of ratification and revealed that trade has already been underway among 19 countries under AFCFTA rules.
We are very, very happy with the progress we've made. We've concluded all of the protocols that were required by the heads of states. So from a legal foundation point of view, we have concluded all of the necessary legal protocols. So we've made good progress. We've come a long way, but we have a long way to go.
Notwithstanding the advancements made, many highlighted the challenges associated with infrastructure and interconnectivity that pose obstacles to the implementation of the trade zone.
The big challenge is the cost of infrastructure that supports trade. The deficit is estimated to be at 150 billion United States dollars. That constrains our ability to trade in larger volumes.
He urged member countries to address these issues and underscored the importance of expediting the implementation of established regulations to facilitate market access and draw in investments, especially in light of increasing global trade protectionism.
Another news. Apple said on Monday it will spend $500 billion in U.S. investments in the next 4 years that will include a giant factory in Texas for artificial intelligence serves and add about 20,000 research and development jobs across the country in that time. That $500 billion in expected spending include everything from purchases from U.S. supplies to U.S. filming of television shows and movies for its Apple TV service. Before concluding, let us provide you with the latest updates on global commodities prices. That is all for today, and thank you for watching Pulse of Africa.
This is Pulse of Africa, the face of Ethiopia, the voice of Africa.